Good morning, everyone. I am Valerie Macy Catalan, and we are the Group 6. Our topic for today is about Renaissance art. What is Renaissance art? Renaissance art is a term used to describe a period in European history. It concerns itself with the discovery and collection of the past events and affairs of the people of Europe since the beginning of written record. The Renaissance art marks the transition from Middle Ages to modernity and covering the 15th and 16th centuries. It occurred after the crisis of the late Middle Ages and was associated with a great social change. What are the primary features of Renaissance art? First is the linear perspective. Renaissance artists were able to practice the art of three-dimensional illusion using linear perspective, which gave their works a greater sense of depth. In Giotto's fresco, the building is like a stage set with one side open to the viewer. Second is the landscape. The depiction of landscape was encouraged by the development of linear perspective and the inclusion of detailed landscapes in the background of many early Netherlandish paintings of the 15th century. In Carpaccio's deposition of the body of Christ, the desolate rocky landscape echoes the tragedy of the scene. Third, light and shadow. Light and shade exist in a painting in two forms. Tone is simply the lightness and darkness of areas of a picture, graded from white to black. Tonal arrangement is a very significant feature of some paintings. The Taddeo Gaddi's Annunciation to the Shepherds is the first known large painting of a night scene. The internal light source of the picture is the angel. Fourth, anatomy. The knowledge of anatomy was advanced by Leonardo da Vinci's meticulous dissection of 30 corpses. In this painting, Giotto abandoned the traditional formula and painted from observation. Fifth, realism. The observation of nature meant that set forms and symbolic gestures which is used to convey meaning. Giorgione paints a natural and unglamorous portrait of an old woman. And lastly is figure and composition. Botticelli's long, narrow painting of Mars and Venus is based on a W with the figures mirroring each other. The lovers who shortly before were united are now separated by sleep. Artists commissioned to do large works with multiple figures were held to make the subject usually narrative, easily read by the viewer, natural in appearance, and well composed within the picture space.
Morning, my name is Jubilee Pitt, si Katigday. So, this is a group 6 Renaissance art. So, I want to continue in number 3. The question is, what happened in history during this time in Renaissance art? The Renaissance art was a fervent period of European culture, artistic, political, and economic, or we call it rebirth, described as taking place from the 14th century to the 17th century. The Renaissance art is described into 4 categories. So we call it the painting, sculpture, architecture, and music art. So before the 14th century, muna ilang una describe nga unsa pag discovery. So pagka abot og sa 17th century, so niabot siya sa siya kanang cultural, artistic, political, and economic. What are the famous proponents or artists during this period? So karon natay tulo ka famous na nag-artist or master artist. So silang Leonardo da Vinci, Michelangelo, and Raphael. So Raphael was perhaps the most popular painter during the Renaissance and even till late 19th century. While si Michelangelo, who excelled in a various field including the paint, architecture, and poetry, and engineering. While si Leonardo da Vinci was the ideal Renaissance man, the greatest universal genius, who, among other things, was a painter, mathematician, engineering, artistic, and sculpture.